It's so good.
I got a new
It's
nickname,
so good.
the Magic Man. Now you see me. Now you don't.
Open sesame.
And for my next trick, I will make my career disappear.
Abracadabra, baby.
It's simply Greg on the
Welcome to the hangout. To the hangout. Welcome to the hangout. To the hangout. Welcome to the hangout. To the hangout. Welcome to the hangout.
Hey.
Yeah.
Man. we starting already, man. They barely pressed record and we already started because I swear.
Hey,
I got
man,
thoughts.
You want to see a magic trick, man?
I got thoughts. Abracadabra, partner.
Well, look no further, ladies and germs. Welcome to another wonderful edition of the Hangout
Experience. Yeah, that's right. You heard him. It is the Hangout Experience. We are back. Maybe you see us. Maybe you don't. I don't know. But you definitely hear us.
After this review. Roll away price for the ticket.
Oh, too soon.
My bad.
Nah, man.
Build anticipation.
I know, dog. I got thoughts, man. I got thoughts, bro. Because I mean, you know, I don't know. You know what, ladies and gentlemen, I'm sorry. I won't even
tell the nice people who you are, man. Let's get down to these thoughts, man.
Because I'm about to go on a whole tangent right here, man, and y'all will see why. You know what I mean? But it is that PRICE, and who do I have on this review with me?
Yowie wowie, ladies and germs. It's your boy X, the unannounced, aka Young Bubba Gordon. You know what I mean? Skirt. I like to pull up, drive fast. You know what I'm saying? But you know, if you know, you know. You see the movie, you know what I'm talking about.
Already. That's right. And that's what we're here to tell you. If you should indeed see this movie, so
because you should now you see it. Now you probably won't. I don't know.
You know what I mean? Yeah. Hey, hold on to your magical hats. You know what I mean? Just pause before you pull that rabbit out. Yeah, exactly, man. We about to get started on this thing, but of course, before we do that, my boy, can you break us off with some of that beautiful bean footage?
Now you see it, now you hear it. Here's the trailer for Now You See Me, Now You Don't.
In the world of magic, everything that disappears reappears. It is very good to be back.
Come up, you're gonna be our helper.
Okay, disappear in 3, 2, 1.
J. Daniel Atlas in the house. Who wants to see a magic trick?
I think we would have made the Horsemen proud.
My Atlas was spot on.
Really? I'll be the judge of that. According to that card, for some reason, I need you.
Why not the other Horsemen?
The other horsemen are dead.
Oh my God, what?
No, they're like dead to me. Things got too real for them. They gave up. Stop interrupting. I'm talking about a trick that is bigger and better than anything you have ever seen. It's now or never.
What's the trick?
The heart diamond. It's the most valuable jewel in history.
But what makes this diamond so special?
Because a magical tarot card told us.
For decades, the Vanderbergs have been selling diamonds to warlords, arms dealers, traffickers to help launder their money.
If you want to stop the devil, don't cut off her hands. You lift her wallet.
Open sesame.
Still safe with me.
Relax. Diamonds are forever.
Stop him!
Jack? What are you doing here?
Saving your ass.
Emily Reed?
Fanboy later.
Hi, guys.
Hi.
I don't know you.
Let's go!
My Horsemen. We were brought together for a reason.
Gummies kicked in.
Bring down 2 generations of criminals with a single sleight of hand.
8 magicians against a worldwide criminal network. I like our chances.
Want to see a magic trick?
That is. You enjoying the show?
Shall we get on with it?
Hey guys, dead end.
Open sesame.
Way to represent, Merritt.
Worth a try, was it? Never know.
I think you do know.
Yeah.
That's right. That's right. That's right. That's right.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, it's a trailer. It's a trailer. I will say this is probably
trailer,
bro.
Is terrible.
You know,
that was terrible,
bro. Because
it's a trailer.
When you've seen the movie, bro, you know what I'm saying. It's like, okay, this is one of the ones where, yeah, probably some of the best parts are in the trailer. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just going to tell you what it is, dog. It's just, from what I remember, some of the best parts of the movie is pretty much in the trailer. So, okay.
Well, it is one of those trailers that kind of, you know, they don't leave much to the imagination.
No, not really. And not only that, it's ironic that you say that, because even the synopsis kind of tells you it doesn't help, man. So here's the synopsis, ladies and gentlemen. The Four Horsemen and a new generation of illusionists try to bring down a worldwide criminal network.
So just tell all like the trailer. Why don't you? You know what I'm saying? Just, very detailed.
You know,
to the point.
And very blah. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, but whatever. This is released on November the 14th. The director is Ruben Fleischer. Now, if y'all not familiar with him, he also directed Venom. So that might tell you what you need to know, depending on how you feel about Venom. Now. This has a running time. I know, dog. I know. I'm causing a little stir. I know, but I'm. Come on,
at
man.
the hip, dog.
Yeah, yeah. I know. I want it. Bring me the smoke, please. The running time is 1 hour and 52 minutes with a rating of PG-13, and it has a budget of about $110 million.
$110.
Yeah.
Lionsgate spared no expense, dog.
No, spared no expense, but I'm just wondering, did it need all that? So, yeah. Now, here's the good part about it. All they got to do is try to make back a little bit, you know what I'm saying, over 110, and they you know, they can just call it a day, man. Like, hey, we did what we came to do.
Put it in the green, baby. Put us in the green.
Right. But the problem is that the first Now You See Me grossed $351.7 million worldwide against a $75 million budget. And so they said,
okay.
You feel me? So they said, okay, well, let's see what we can create that magic again. Not as much. Right. 3 years later. Thank you for the timeline. Now You See Me 2 grossed approximately $334.9 million worldwide against a budget of $120 million. So they said, hey, throw 10 more million on that, bro. See if we can get a little something.
You know, we can make a little extra. We make a little extra. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, it's not as much as the first one now, let's be honest. But we in the ballpark.
Right. Exactly.
In the ballpark.
But
we off about 17.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
I was just going to say
16, but
yeah, but it's fine. You know what I'm saying? They shot.
They made the 120 back. That's all that matters.
They made the 120 back. Okay. And Now You See Me 2. Just a little extra info for you. Lula, played by Lizzie Kaplan, replaced Isla Fisher due to Fisher's pregnancy. So that's for everybody who wondered, like, hey, why is the girl from the first one back in the third one, but she wasn't in the second one? And then with the girl from the second one who played the girl that was replaced by the first one. So if y'all wanted to know, our wonderful producer Timmy got that information for you. She was she had a pregnancy, and she was like, you know what? No,
thank you, Timmy, because I needed that. Because I mean, they did bring it up. They said it. You know, she went to go have a little family. I went to have kids and start a family and stuff like that.
That was very meta.
Y'all just replaced me.
Right. That was very meta. As a matter of fact, she literally put it in the movie of what happened. Yeah, and y'all just replaced me. Yeah, real talk. Huh. Good point. But you know, and listen, hey man, it's may be debatable. You know, Lula, you either liked her or you didn't like her. You know what I'm saying? You know, maybe you didn't like her just because she replaced the girl that you liked, and maybe you liked her because she actually played a pretty entertaining, you know, role. So I mean, hey, you know, good love interest for Jack.
Without the shoehorning, just saying, I mean, just casually,
right?
Stroll on in there, cool.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Kind of like how they did this new crop of, what does the synopsis say? This new crop
of illusionists.
You know what I'm saying? You didn't exactly shoehorn them in there like you shoehorned her. Just saying.
They did.
We could have made it a little easier, a little bit.
You're right. Because as you're talking, they really didn't explain it. If they was going to do that, why didn't they explain it in the second one? Like, hey, she went off to have a family, so forth and so on. Then, yeah, okay, it makes more sense. It really was like, hey, who was this girl? And why is she here? And was the other girl? So, good point, man. Like I said, some people like it, some people did not like it. But, okay, it is time to talk about Now You See Me, Now You Don't. All right. Guys, I'm just gonna say, if you saw the trailers, okay, you know that you know they bring in a new young crop of magicians, you know, and I will tell you right off. Here's the thing: when you have a formula, which was the Four Horsemen that we know, and they have a certain dynamic about them, okay, whether it's a love-hate relationship, whether it's, you know, a flirty type relationship, you think, oh, they're gonna get together or they're not gonna get together, you know, or it's a straight love interest. However they present it, you start to fall for that story, and you get used to that story, and you kind of attach yourself to that story and those characters and their way of carrying themselves, let's just say, with their, you know, different personalities and such. They have a certain bit of charisma. And going into this, I was wondering, the first thing I was wondering is, am I going to like these young new magicians? And I don't care about them being young or whatever. You know, at one point in time, these people that we love, they were younger also. But
right. The relatability of
the relatability, dog.
Is the chemistry gonna work?
Is it
bringing in this new with the established? You know, kind of speaking from generational standpoints of like how it is nowadays, and the disconnect between the older generation, what it seems, and the newer generation. Can they really mesh?
Can they mesh? And do we care? I don't want to be an old man on, you know, but get off my lawn. I don't, you know, I can watch younger people do things.
I don't mind, brother. I'll shake my fist and raise my cane in the air.
Oh, I already know you, yeah. But I'm just saying, I'm trying to be like, okay, let me see what you got. You know, show me what you got, and I'll rock with you if you making sense.
Absolutely.
I will say that starting off, what we saw. It was an interesting intro. However, it was a little derivative of what we saw in the first one. Now, if that was the purpose of like, hey, let's kind of bring that back and for nostalgia or whatever, however, okay, cool. But I wasn't like wowed. You understand what I'm saying? Like the first time that I saw Now You See Me, and I saw their tricks and man, I was like, whoa, that's really cool, you know.
Yeah.
I feel like the first one that I saw, it didn't really have me scratching my head, bro. It had me like, I feel like I kind of could figure out that trick myself. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying, bro? Just because of where we are right now in the world with AI and everything else that we have capabilities to do.
As they say, you can see the lines.
I see the lines.
See the cables, hoisting them up.
I see them, bro. I see them. And because of the put it this way, bro. We have so much technology and so many things that we can do with the deep fakes and everything else, and little robots that's sweeping up behind you, whatever it is. You got to really come with it to wow people now. Or at least me. You know what I mean? I'm speaking for me. I'm not going to speak for other people. I'm speaking for me. To wow me, I need you to come with it. And that's how now you see me, the first one and even the second one to a point, to a certain degree. That's how it had me. Like, whoa, okay, that was magical,
Right.
But starting off, I didn't get that same feeling. I just kind of wanted to know, like, all right, where are we going with this, and where are my 4 horsemen? You know what I'm saying? Like, when are you gonna bring them on? And as you know, it was a good little minute before we even saw one of them, bro. And I was like, huh, okay, all right. So are we passing the torch already? Like, is that where we're setting up? That we're passing the torch? Are these going to be the new horsemen that we have to get used to? And do we want to get used to these new, horsemen? So again, bro, from the very first scene, it's kind of like, okay,
that's kind of tough, man, because I always felt like how you start something, like, in music, in an introduction to an album, how you start something, it's supposed to set the tone for the rest of the way.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? So if we're establishing a trilogy, right, and we paying homage to the first one,
yep,
you want to kind of start the tone in a way that'll hook everybody in, right, and want us to keep watching. In a sense, you would think. So to hear you say that, it's interesting.
Yeah, man. Listen, if they were setting me up, listen, if this was like Fast and the Furious or Marvel, and they setting up this whole universe of magicians that's gonna come out, or even John Wick, all these magicians exist in the world, right? And they all gonna start coming out and doing things, and now they turn into kind of, bro, this is almost Fast and the Furious.
Clan, like a little, I guess, Avenger style clan or clique.
Yeah, yeah, and they taking down the world of crooks, right? They always taking down somebody who's stealing from poor people's, from poor people. They, it's almost like a Robin Hood-ish type of tale.
Oh, absolutely.
Rob from the rich, give to the poor, and you support it, and you're with that, right? And this one is different, man. We get a little bit of that in the beginning, and then we go off on something else, and we don't really know why this is happening. What is this really tied to? And do I care when we get there? So again, man, first scene, I'm like, okay, we all right. We getting introduced to, the new clan, and it's an interesting, as you see from the trailers, it's an interesting mimic job that this guy is doing. I kind of look at him as the Atlas of his group, in a sense. He kind of has that cocky attitude, kind of, butthole in a sense too, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, but he seems like maybe kind of the leader in a sense or whatever, you know what I mean? But I'm like, okay, I think I would have liked to have seen something a little different. Like, don't try to carbon copy the people already, you know what I'm saying? Because basically, you had a Jack, right? You had a Atlas, you know what I'm saying? So you can see the similarities that they try to do, but again, bro, like,
kind of keep everybody kind of similar to one another, and hey, you can see a little bit of him in him
or her,
see a little bit of him and her,
right?
Her in her, yeah,
exactly.
To try to keep the same DNA, kind of just different faces,
right? They want you to get that same feel, and I'm like, nah, don't play it that way. Just give them completely new things, and then now you add to what's already established. You don't need to try to carbon copy that, because you can't. You know what I'm saying? Like, they have their flow already, and there's a reason why they have their flow. You don't need to copy that. Just come up with something new and give us completely new personalities, and now you just add it on to what's already a great set of magicians. And I just didn't get that, bro. So I wasn't, like I said, man. Right after the first couple scenes, bro, I was like, all right, let's just see this to the end. You know what I mean? So, yeah, bro, yeah, I see how they went from, introducing the new cast of magicians, but the way they tried to bring in the already established four horsemen, it was a little mediocre for me, bro. It was a little mediocre, just like you said, shoehorning. It's like they shoehorn them into certain scenes just to try to get them into the scene. You understand what I'm saying? So
yeah, I understand. You're forcing something that ain't really, they don't need to be there.
It was underwhelming, bro. It was underwhelming, dog. I would have really liked to have seen it. I expected more out of the Horseman. That's what I'm saying, y'all. I expected more out of the Horseman. And not only that, bro. Let me point out something else. The first movie was called Now You See Me. The second movie was called Now You See Me 2. Technically, they should have went for the Now You See Me, Now You Don't early on. They wait till the third one to finally put in there Now You See Me, Now You Don't, like a real magician reference. And they don't come with it though, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like they don't come.
Yeah, you felt like the naming had an expectation to it,
bro. This is the third. Not only that, bro. Trilogies, right? We know that by the third one, you got to come with it. Like you got to bring out all your guns.
You got to elevate.
You have to, because you've shown them the same thing for 2 movies in a row. So if that's what you've done, then you got to wow them by that third one. You got to let them know this is why y'all come and see us, because this is what we do. I didn't get that, bro. I'm telling you right off. I felt like they could have just put it on Netflix. Personally, I feel like they could put it on Netflix.
That's strong. That's a strong opinion, brother.
Hey, man. Hey.
So when we get throughout the movie and we start kind of, stuff starts to come a little bit more front facing, I would say, and we start getting into and it feels like it does take a little bit to tell you the why, like, and by a little bit I mean the whole freaking movie, but it does give you some time to kind of figure out the why in all of this. So as we keep going, and what are your thoughts on the fact that as we're going and we're progressing, in your opinion, did it feel more like we were looking at a film that's more nostalgia based than trying to really establish
a story,
new illusions? For lack of a story, yeah. For lack of a better,
Here's my major disappointment. We finally have a female antagonist with Rosamund, Pike, who's a great actress. But I feel like she was a little underused, bro. Like I don't know, man. They tried to make her bad. You know what I'm saying? Where she felt it a little bit, dog, but she didn't have that
she didn't have that bad guy aura, that villain aura.
Really, bro. Not really, dog. So I will.
You know who the bad guy's been. If everybody's familiar with this franchise,
right?
And obviously the actor retired. Like he's done acting.
Yeah,
he hung it up.
Right.
So obviously they wouldn't go find a way to shoehorn or bring him into this.
No, and as they shouldn't. You know what I'm saying? They already had one of them that it was like, hey, we're gonna let you bow on out gracefully. So I that's already one problem, bro. Because I'm like, okay, cool. They got Rosamund Pike, female antagonist. Let's see how they gonna do this. You know what I'm saying? So you already got that, bro. And it just did not go where it needed to go as far as climax. You understand what I'm saying, man? They just like you said. Now it's like nostalgia. It was like they gave us a cameo fest. Hey, you remember them? You remember him? You remember him? You remember her? You remember? You know what I'm saying? Let's bring them in there and just come up with things for them to do, so you can see them do some magic tricks or something, or however, rather than giving me a story that made me feel like, man. And I say this, we don't spoil things around here. You know how we do. However, you know where it got to, and you know where the story kind of saved it a little bit for me. I never say the story. Let's say the reveal. The reveal kind of saved it for me a little bit to where I'm like, all right, if that's what this whole thing was about, I guess that's cool. But I'm still not like, wow, you know what I'm saying? Like really, like I left the theater with that, like that story.
Yeah. I completely get it. Cause like it just got to it for me. It just when we get to that section of our review, it took too long to get like what I'm saying, you're figuring out the why throughout the whole film. Like, okay, again, we don't have Sir Michael Caine. You know what I'm saying? Again, he retired. That's public knowledge. Everybody knows he's done acting. So I'm not spoiling nothing by telling y'all this. But what the struggle seems to have been was the story and the pivot. Because like you said, we got Rosamund Pike, you know what I'm saying, and we're trying to establish her as this big bad, and I just think the execution of it all just kind of went flat.
Yeah.
It had its highs. I feel like this is a movie that has its highs, but it definitely has its lows.
Without a doubt. I mean, straight up, bro. Even you want to talk about underused? Let's talk about our boy, man, Morgan Freeman, bro. This right here was just for him to come in here and say, "Hey, y'all, thank y'all,
love to the franchise,
love to the franchise. Y'all see me again, cool."
Yep.
And I'm just like, come on, man. He's been such an integral part of this series. Just like you were talking about Michael Caine. It was Michael Caine and it was him. Like, they was major players in here. And the story pivoted or shifted partly because of them or something they did. And this one was just like, man, really? That's what you're going to give him? Come on, man. So now other people may feel differently about it. I just feel like he was underused, and it was a cameo fest. And there was nothing really gelling together enough to make me feel like this should have happened. So
yeah, we didn't get no meat and potatoes. We just got kind of like vegetable appetizers, Dude. Small charcuterie board.
Dude,
no real meat and potatoes.
Correct.
For the third in the trilogy, you know what I'm saying? Like we said, we establishing that after the first two, if you gonna make a third one, you gotta elevate. It's gotta be bigger. The story's gotta mean something. You know what I'm saying? If we're going to a third one, or what's the point in making it?
That's what I'm saying, bro.
Unless you just want to do a nostalgia cameo fest and call it a film and throw the label on it and just shove it out to us.
Right. But then you take the chance on muddying up your legacy. You know what I'm saying? Your good name. I mean, they made two good movies back to back. So if you're going to take the chance on that, then you understand what I'm saying, bro? Because there are movies out there that's like, yeah, I watched the first one and the third one, or I watched the second and the third one, or or whatever. But come on, bro, like, you don't go out like this. You know what I'm saying? So I was just like, golly, bro. So yeah, man. So as we're going along in this movie, guys, what you realize is that you're like X said, the final reveal, you're gonna realize y'all could have gotten to that so much sooner. You didn't need all the elaborate stuff that y'all did just to tell me what you could have told me a little earlier and went to some different directions. And so
exactly,
we could sit here and run through this movie like we do, but this boils down to basically this: how much of a fan are you of this movie? Because of this franchise. Because if you are, there are cameos in here that may make you smile and say, "Oh, okay, there's that person. I was wondering if they was going to be in it. Or I wonder, you know what I mean? You get some of those, and that's cool. But again, I mean, do you need to go sit in a movie theater just for them to show you people that you can look up online and say, oh, there they go, right there. You know what I'm saying? Oh, well, you can see a video of them doing some stuff. But in here, like I said, bro, Marvel, John Wick, when they bring all these characters together, man, I'm supposed to be knocked off my feet, man. I'm supposed to be knocked off my feet, dog. And I didn't feel that going through the movie as I'm watching from scene to scene to scene to scene, bro. And there were some things, dog, I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. There were some things that I'm like, I don't care how much of a magician you are. You might not get out of that. That's some super quick thinking in a moment where everybody should be panicking and giving their last right. I don't know, man. I don't know. But again, bro, I just didn't want to waste their time too much with this one. I mean, to be honest with you, it really boiled down to, do you like the franchise Now You See Me or not? And if you do, go see the movie. You know, go see the movie. Plain and simple.
That's completely understandable, my brother. Because at the end of the day, it was it was just poor execution. It really was. That's what hurt this film a lot. You know, it shouldn't take that long to not get to the point, because that does sound pretty harsh. But like, still, like, you know, if I don't have no inklings or no, like, you could tell me why a little sooner and then have switches and stuff like that to keep me engaged and surprises and boom, bam, to kind of keep the viewer kind of. But when you just go on like a flat rate pretty much, and we're going through a greatest hits, we didn't need this movie. Yeah, we didn't need it.
Right.
At the end of the day.
At the end of the day. Right. You didn't. And I wasn't even trying to, bro, but I saw an article with them already saying, yeah, this one probably is not going to do as well as others. I'm like, you think? I'm saying, like, you did
at least we being honest. Ain't no illusion about that.
I'm just saying. So that's just, just telling you how it is, ladies and gentlemen. It is something for you to watch, and you have to be a fan, I believe, to enjoy the movie. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think it's the worst movie I've seen. I'm not like, oh my God, I just can't get my 2 hours back. I'm not saying that. I'm saying I would have preferred to probably watch that on Netflix. You know what I'm saying? And save the time and the money of going to a theater, buying popcorns, drinks, you know what I mean? Sitting down, scooching past people. Hey, excuse me.
Yeah, we don't even want to talk about our experience actually going to go see this.
Oh,
on top of
God.
that.
We should have known. We should have known.
You know what I'm saying? Because, like, let's just be honest, dog. This was not one of them, like, smooth theater experiences that we're used to or accustomed to, or even have the virtue of being able to be in. You know, everything was kind of trending downward from the jump. So, yeah, we should have known when our environment was kind of going against us that, hey, this movie might go against y'all, too.
That part. We got the signs, man. Got the signs, dog. So, ladies and gentlemen, please.
We held out faith, though.
Yeah, exactly. And we saw it through. We really did. And we did that for y'all because we love you and we want to let you know about this movie. So, like I said, instead of scene by scene and all that, we can just tell you right now. Listen, I'll start off with mine. When you basically tell people like, hey, we got another one for you, and we want you to come back and we want you to spend your time with us again. Okay, cool. Then if you're going to do that and you're going to spend $110 million to do that, then you got to come with something more than what they came with. I can't really say, and this is crazy because the guy who played, Justin Smith, the guy who played Charlie, I like him. I've liked him in other movies. He's a good, actor. But I don't feel like he was really given the material that he should have been given to really work this. Now, he did what he could do with the character and for the the things that we saw later on in the movie. He did what he could do. But I just thought like there were so many people underused and used in the wrong manner that I'm like, come on, man. If you're going to use him, because he's a good actor, if you're going to use him the right way. You know what I mean? Give me something that makes me say, hey, okay, like horseman it is, And then the other two, new characters, I'm like, they were cool. They're cool. Ariana Greenblatt, Dominic, Sessa. He did okay. But you don't fall in love with him. You don't fall in love with him the way that you fell in love with the Horseman the first time around. You don't. You just don't. You don't fall in love with him. So the charm is not there. And when you take the charm out of a magic movie, you got a problem. It's a magic movie. It needs charm. You know, it doesn't need a whole bunch of bickering the whole time. You know what I'm saying? Plus, I mean, we kind of got that in the first one. You know, when they first got hooked up, they weren't friends. So all the bickering and the headbutting and all that, that's more in the first one. By the time we get now to now, our horsemen should just be straight up on, you know, like mentor mode, you know, carving, you know, getting them ready for the next, you know what I'm saying, the next show, basically. And I just feel like I didn't get that. And that was disappointing for me. And again, like I said, heavy hitters like Rosamund Pike, Morgan Freeman, man, bro, that's all you're gonna do? That's how you're gonna use them? So I just wasn't wild, man. And that's the bad thing to say at a magic show. Like, you go watch a magic show, you are supposed to be wild, blown, what they say, knock your socks off, you know, I mean, blown away. And I just wasn't, man. I was just like, all right, that's cute. You know what I'm saying? Look, they make the thing do that. That's cool. But you know what, another thing they did? They gave too many reveals. Okay, the one thing people know about magic, who really know and look into magic, a magician never reveals his tricks. So for some reason, they feel like they need to tell us every single thing, the way it was done, break it all down. I don't need that. This is not a TikTok video. I don't need you to break down all the magic tricks and all that, because now you're taking the wow out of it for me. At first, I was like, oh, that's cool. And then you told me how you did. I'm like, oh man, whatever. Right? So, yeah, man, I just disappointed with that, man. And I just feel like this one here, bro, is this is a 6 for me, man. This is a 6 easily. I can't give it more. I'm sorry. What you want me to do?
Ladies and gentlemen, you know, if anybody gonna keep it real, it's Mr. PRICE. You know what I mean? He gonna keep it real, and he gonna keep it honest with y'all. You know what I'm saying? And there's nothing more honest than something like that. So listen, picking up where he left off in the reins. So this film, let's just say, ladies and gentlemen, it definitely was an adventure. I use that term very loosely. It was an adventure to go on. Now listen, you know, hats off, Ariana Greenblatt, you know, Dominic Sessa, Justice Smith, you know, great. They did a good job to blend in with the cast, you know. We saw the return of Hauser Fisher, you know what I'm saying? Great. You know, we got to see the old school team chemistry. You know what I'm saying? I had my complaints because, you know, what about my girl? You know what I'm saying? But, you know, you made up for that. But it was on a timing basis. Okay, fine, cool. You know, there's another horseman that we all know of, but, you know, I guess they explain that stuff too. But at the same time, not as clear. So, okay, cool, fine. You know, I do appreciate them addressing the timeline. Okay, hey, as you know, Price, we talked about it before the film. Hey, this, you know, it's going to be almost 10 years, dog. You know what I'm saying? Since the second one. Will time be a factor for this? I don't want to say time hurt it a little bit because of the fact that, but I think time was also an element because, again, it shouldn't take the final act for us to understand the why of the entire movie to begin with, right? I feel like there could have been you didn't have to tell us, or in Price's terms, reveal your biggest secret or your biggest, you know, trick in your playbook at the end like that. You could have told us in a way that, okay, it makes sense, and then still kept us in suspense, you know, kind of like as I was saying throughout the review. So for me, man, again, Dave Franco, everybody, they did a wonderful job with what they were given. It's just, this movie is not needed. I'm not even gonna sit here sugarcoat it for y'all. We don't need this movie. If you can see it for $5, go see it for $5. You know, shout out Tuesdays, you know what I'm saying? But if you love this franchise, this is a hit to the franchise for me. Because again, I don't think this was needed. Everybody didn't need to come in and grab a paycheck like this, but for what they gave us, you know, it was something to say the least, you know. The illusionists, the tricks, the trade of everything, it didn't hold up to the first two movies for me. I feel as though like we kind of recycled a lot. We kind of leaned on a little bit of nostalgia, a little too much, and I also feel like we could have executed this like just better. Like we could have just did better. Period. We didn't have to do any of that of what we had. So listen, Price gave that thing a 6. I'm gonna give it a 5.5. I'm just gonna be honest. You got a 5, and you only got the half, really, because of Lizzie Kaplan. You only really got that half point because of that. If you didn't, then I'd have been chilling with a 5. But it's again, this is just not a movie that y'all need to. I'm not rushing at the bit and chomping at the bit to go see like that. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, if there's another one in development, please, just please, if you don't take nothing away from our review, just give me a story, give me something I can sink my teeth into, and don't lose the essence of what this franchise is, please.
Look at that. Okay. I mean, hey, you like it? That's a magic trick. You saw that score right in half, dog. Like, okay. That gives us a 5.7.
Hey, we keeping it honest today, brother. Like you said, we was getting right to it.
Yeah. Listen, I appreciate it. I mean, that's just what it is. I respect all the actors, and I respect the crew and everybody who came together to make the movie. I do, but I don't know. I don't know if it was rushed. They'll say, hey, well, it was COVID. They'll say whatever. That's fine. But but I will say this will tie in perfectly, bro. So can you please hit us up with the QOTD?
Yes, sir. Today we're going to hit y'all with the quote that says, "Don't listen to what people say, watch what they do."
Ooh. Exactly.
But if you watch too closely, you're just going to tell us everything anyway, you know what I'm saying? So
Basically. And that's what it is, you know what I'm saying? Watch what they do. And if you watch what they did on this one, then yeah, you'll see exactly what we're saying and why it got us 5.7. But of course we can't end this off without hitting you off with the mantra, and you know that is, it's not the quantity of people, it's the quality. Hey y'all, listen, Thank y'all again for joining us. You know, we are here for you. We appreciate y'all. And listen, we're gonna be here. We're not gonna disappear like magicians. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna stick here and be here for you. But in order to do that, we definitely need you to please like, and subscribe. And please turn on your notifications.
Please turn that bell on, or we gonna make you sit down and watch this. We gonna tape your eyes open and make you watch it.
Feed you sleeping pills, you know what I mean? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know we gotta do this, man. You know we gotta do this. Last time we told her happy birthday, you know what I mean? So, you know, all the November babies, y'all know what time it is. But shout out to the best producer in the world. And that is Timmy, the producer.
Timmy.
Yeah, buddy. Hey, thank y'all again, man. You know what I'm saying? We'll be back. I'm sorry we hurt your feelings, you know what I mean? Because you love magicians and so forth, so on. Shout out to David Blaine, you know what I'm saying? David Copperfield, you know what I mean? It's all good. Salute to y'all, sir. But I'm just saying the movie wasn't hitting, so all good.
Make this movie disappear, y'all.
Make it disappear. Alakazam, abracadabra, baby.
Mm-hmm.
All right, y'all. We love you. Appreciate y'all. We'll be back on the next one. Peace.
And we out.